Hello, everyone, and welcome to Padawan Unlimited. Today, I'm just going to do a really quick video on some new stuff that's dropped within the last day or two. Actually, some of it was just earlier today, which is January 14th, 2025. I'm going to review four cards. I think some of them came out within the last day or so, like I said, and kind of maybe talk through initial strategies, initial thoughts on them, and then I'm gonna go into the kind of like a pseudo product review. That something happened earlier today where FFG did a stream, Xander and also GameGenic, and they were talking about some new products that are coming out for the new set that's releasing in March of this year. Some of it's pretty cool, and then I have my favorites, so I'll talk about that. But let's get into it. So on the left-hand side, we have Devastator, an Imperial vehicle capital ship. These are all pretty good um, traits to have. Comes out at 8 with a 9.6. I think really what people are really going to talk about and how this is going to kind of blow up the meta, assuming that red villainy is still a thing, aka Django. You assign all indirect damage you deal to opponents. So this is also opponents, so not just a constructed deck card. It can also be very useful for Twin Suns. And then when played, deal 4 indirect damage to each opponent. So this card is really, really good. If we are looking at the snapshot of our current meta, um, and um, and assuming that some of that will still hold throughout this next set, even with a new piloting mechanic. It comes out at 8. So it's a little later mid game, but with a 9.6, really strong. The indirect damage that you're going to be able to deal is huge, because it just means that it's you get to assign 4 damage to whatever units and also the base. From what I understand of the rule of indirect damages, and this is also since it's a capital ship, means that you can triple dark rate this really, really early. And so you're going to be doing 13. If they can't deal with this, all that about Terran, you're dealing 13 points of damage to an opponent's space. It is closed. It is going to close out games. It is devastating. Bad joke. Okay. And then if you follow it up, so or even beforehand, planetary bombardment, you deal 8 indirect damage to a player. Ideally, you want to have Devastator out first because then you get to assign all the indirect damage to a player. If because and also it's a capital ship. Deals 12. If you control a capital ship, you get to deal 12 indirect damage instead. So again, if we're talking about red, Django, aka Ruthless Raider, and you TDR that or the turn before, or you're just playing it the turn before and you're playing this afterwards, that is massive amounts of damage on the board. The games are going to close. If we think about Sabine Green being really a powerhouse, I mean, this is going to really make red even more powerful, and particularly for the villainy side with Devastator. That's going to be really, really huge. I think there's some other interesting combos you could potentially do with this, but those are the ones that are more on the nose and more relevant to all the players now. The next card I have here, it's a trap. It's an event card, 3 cost. If an opponent controls more space units than you, ready each space unit you control. I think that's great, especially if you're trying to swing the tempo on the board. And because there's token units, token space units specifically, there's some interesting combos you can potentially pull off with other cards when you create units on their side, so that you can then use it's a trap and then close out a game. I think this is going to be a sneaky, sneaky good card later on, especially if tokens in this set take off. I know they didn't really take off in set 3. You see a lot of token play in limited format, so like constructed, but you don't really see it in the competitive scene. If it takes off the competitive scene, then It's a Trap is going to be a really good card. I think people are gonna have to watch out and be careful, finding lines against you because if you have 3 resources, you could potentially close out a game. And then finally, this one is a new card that was revealed by who was it? Let's see. I think it was Outmaneuver. Oh no, Rebel Resource earlier today. So they got to drop this card, Independent Smuggler. Very basic card, 1/1/1 all across the board, but it gives raid to an attached unit, which is not a bad thing. So essentially gives it +2 attack for 1 cost. And then it's also a pilot. So you can unlock some of the synergies there. This is really great to me from what I'm seeing. Attach it to one of your token units, make it a little bit more powerful, make it a 3/2. For example, if it's a 1/1 unit or even better 4/2, this is okay. And it's again a cunning card. I don't know if this is going to get much play in the competitive scene, but if we are talking about the drafting limited formats, this is going to be a really fun card to have. I think it'll help you swing the games. So I'm really excited to do some draft and use this card specifically within Cunning. Okay, so these are just some four cards. There's gonna be a lot of this is we're gonna enter spoiler season pretty soon, and so there'll be more videos like this. But just want to give some initial thoughts. I am absolutely loving the red side of this, and so far, I'm okay with the other cards that are being shown, even the ones that are here in terms of like cunning. But this planetary bombardment devastator, ooh, it's gonna make me want to play uh uh villainy aggression for sure. And then if we move on, so just a screenshot here that I have of all of the products kind of laid out that were revealed today on the FFG stream. I think they all look really cool. And I do like the ideas of these new binders that come out, and they're really form fitted into um, like IKEA storage units. I'll say. I think they were all really well designed. I'm excited to get my hands on a couple of these products. Some stuff that you might not be able to see because it's a little small, but they also have new deck boxes for Twin Suns, which is going to be really cool. They're going to have hyperspace or like yeah, hyperspace like foil versions of some of the earlier um, bases, which is really cool. So if you're a collector. And then they also have tokens that are going to be like these pro tokens that are going to have like double-sided, and then also have tokens for Twin Suns. So they're really unlocking the other aspects of Star Wars Unlimited, which I am super excited for. I don't know if I'm going to get every single product because I'm not made of money, but it's cool to see all these these really big mats and really focusing in on some other game formats like Twin Suns. I play Twin Suns. Hope you do too. It is really fun, especially as a group. And the one thing I'm actually super excited about, I don't know why, I just really, really want it, is the new damage pad. So the new damage pad is going to be able to fit your card in a sleeve in it, and then it counts from 0 to 49. So apparently it's future proof. So I guess what that also means, if we're looking down the line, is we're never gonna have bases that are over 49 base health, which is pretty good. And I look at the MSRP 14.99. I think that's an okay price point as well. I like the etching that we have here. Some of the damage counter stuff out there that's like 3D printed, I'm just not a fan of. Not that they don't function. Don't get me wrong. It's just they're almost the same price point, if not more sometimes. And for then it's 14.99 MSRP. And I think stores are probably gonna, if they do get it, they'll maybe sell it a little cheaper as well if they're not selling at sharp MSRP. And I think it's just a really good product that we could use. I think the only thing that is a little detrimental to it is that it doesn't fit into the deck boxes, unfortunately. But that's okay. I mean, I'm never just carrying a deck box into a game store anyway. I always have my backpack full of cards, so you'll just have to find a way to store this a little bit. Um, uh, and so it doesn't get damaged. But I do like the look of it. It seems pretty interesting. I'm probably going to pick up one of each color, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this short, quick video. Look forward to seeing you again. If you please like, subscribe, it really helps the channel. Also, as a special announcement, if we can get to 100 subs by Thursday, we're gonna do a drawing um, for some legendary cards that I'm gonna raffle off. And so in that, I have about a deck, like 50 card deck of extra legendaries outside of play sets that I would love to, help give away. I suppose, to all the listeners out there that are, have stuck with me. Even if you're new, welcome to the channel. We're gonna do a videoing of of like a shuffle and then drawing, and then we'll figure out how we raffle it off. But I'm excited because it's not just like Ferric Assaults. There's also like Vader in there. There's also vigilances. There's aggressions. There's other good legendaries. So don't. It's not gonna just be a thing. I think it'll be fun. Anyway, thank you again for listening. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you can, and until next time, may the force be with you.